Hello and welcome back to another episode of Teaching Partner. IELTS and TOEFL exams are important for teachers who are seeking a career in English speaking countries, which is often a requirement for teaching positions in countries where English is the primary language of instruction. Both tests are designed to evaluate an individual reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills in the English language and are widely recognized by academic institutions and employers around the globe. Although they share many similarities, there are also significant differences between the two tests that can impact a person's choice of which exam to take. In this video, we will compare the IELTS and TOEFL exams to help you make an informed decisions about which test is right for you. So if you talk about the acronyms of these two terms, IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System, while TOEFL stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language. In terms of ownership, these two tests are owned by different testing organizations. IELTS is jointly owned by the British Council, Cambridge Assessment English, and IDP Australia. If we talk about the TOEFL, IBT is owned, written, and administered by the Education Testing Services ETS, an organization in the USA. In terms of structural differences, you can see on the screen the method of examination in IELTS is paper and online, where TOEFL IBT will take online only. The length of IELTS exam is 2 hours 45 minutes, whereas TOEFL is 3 hours 15 minutes. The scores for IELTS is from 0 to 9, whereas TOEFL is 0 to 120. The results will come usually after 13 days and TOEFL IBT after 10 days. Human examiners and automated marking will be done for both IELTS and TOEFL IBT. Approximately 11,000 organizations worldwide accepted IELTS, whereas 11,500 organizations worldwide accepted TOEFL. If you look at the test format, there are 4 portions: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. In IELTS exam, there are 40 questions and 30 minutes for listening, 40 questions and 60 minutes for reading, and 2 writing tasks will be given for 60 minutes. And there are 3 parts for the question, from 11 to 14 minutes for speaking. In terms of TOEFL IBT, there are 28 to 39 questions from listening, which is around 41 to 57 minutes, 30 to 40 questions from the reading, and it will take about 54 to 72 minutes. There are 2 tasks of writing for 50 minutes and 4 tasks for question of speaking for 70 minutes. Let's talk about the test question types. IELTS have a variety of questions, including multiple choice, matching, plan, map, drawing, labeling, form, note, table, flowchart, summary completion, sentence completion, short answer questions, true, false, and yes, no. These are the type of questions available with IELTS, whereas TOEFL IBT is only made up of multiple choice question, where you need to select from options A to option D. If we compare the listening of IELTS and TOEFL, a common myth is that IELTS is a British English and TOEFL is US English, but the fact is that both tests have a range of English accents, North American, British, Australian, and New Zealand accents as well. In terms of reading exam, there are 3 passages in the IELTS academic reading test with a total of about 2,750 words. Passage 1 and 2 have 13 questions each. Passage 3 has 14 questions. When we talk about TOEFL IBT, there has 3 or 4 reading passages with a total of 700 words each. Each passage has 10 multiple choice questions. In terms of writing, there are 2 tasks in both the IELTS and TOEFL writing tests. Task 1 of the IELTS academic writing test has information presented in a graph, chart, table, or diagram. You have 20 minutes to complete the task and to write a minimum of 150 words. In task 2, you have 40 minutes to write a minimum of 250 words answering a discussion question. Task 2 is worth double the mark of task 1. If you are taking the paper-based IELTS test, both tasks will have to be handwritten. TOEFL IBT task 1 is very different. This task is integrated with both reading and listening. You have to read a short passage and listen to a short lecture. You then have to write a response based on what you have read and listened to. Task 2 is writing an essay based on your personal experience or opinion on a given topic. You have a total of 50 minutes for the writing test. If you compare the speaking, The main difference between the two tests is that the IELTS speaking test is done with an examiner either face to face or on a video call. The test is recorded for training and verification purposes. Your test is marked by the examiner and verified by other examiners if necessary. In the TOEFL IBT test, you listen to question and you then speak your answer into a microphone. Your answers are marked by the combination of AI and human reviewers. The IELTS test may be or may not be taken on the same day as the part of the test, whereas TOEFL IBT is taken on the same day as the other parts. IELTS speaking has three parts. Part 1, you give personal information and discuss everyday subjects. In part 2, you are giving a task in which you have 1 minute to prepare your answer. You then have 2 minutes to give your talk. The final part is discussion with the examiner on a topic related to the one in part 2. Like the TOEFL writing test, the speaking test is integrated. Question 1 requires you to answer question based on your ideas, opinions and experiences. Question 2 requires you to listen and speak, or listen, read and speak. You have preparation time before you have to respond to each questions. Let's talk about the scores of IELTS and TOEFL. For IELTS, you have to given a band score of between 0 to 9 for each of the skills, and then you are given an overall band score. In TOEFL IBT, you are given a score range 0 to 30 for each skill and a total score from 0 to 120. In terms of university entry requirements, different courses of different levels at universities around the world have specific English language entry requirements. The table on your screen gives you some idea about it. You can also refer to this table, which shows the score comparison between IELTS band score and TOEFL IBT score. Now let us discuss some frequently asked questions about IELTS and TOEFL. Question number 1. Which test is easier? Actually, this is an impossible question to answer as it depends on the experience of each person. Some people prefer multiple choice questions and find them easier, whereas some people prefer to speak to a person rather than a computer. Question number 2. Which test is better for you? Actually, you need to understand what kind of English language students you are and what type of questions and tests you prefer. Try taking practice tests for both IELTS and TOEFL and see which one suits you and your abilities better. I will share some very useful links for IELTS and TOEFL in the description. Question number 3. How long will it take to prepare for IELTS? Generally, it will probably take you 4 to 6 weeks to do an IELTS preparation course. Question number 4. Is TOEFL mainly used for the USA? The TOEFL IBT test is accepted by universities all around the world, just like the IELTS test. There is a misunderstanding about TOEFL that is only used for USA. In conclusion, whether you choose an IELTS or TOEFL exams depend on your individual needs and preference. If you're comfortable with American English and prefer a more structured exam, TOEFL may be a better option for you. If you're looking for a more particular approach to measure your English language proficiency and plan to study or work in either the UK, Canada or Australia, then IELTS may be the way you go. Ultimately, both exams are reputable and recognized worldwide and can help you achieve your academics and professional. With proper preparation and focus, you can successfully demonstrate your English proficiency and gain access to the world of opportunity. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this video is very useful for you. So thank you very much. If you have any question, query, or you need any support for making a decision, don't hesitate to write an email to theteachingpartner@gmail.com. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Goodbye.